Hello, this is John from the Haunt Informer, and today I have a special guest, the owner of Sir Henry's Haunted Trail, Zach Glaros.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, so there's lots to talk about Sir Henry's Haunted Trail this year because there's lots of massive improvements, and I'm very excited to see it all. And which trail out of the three are you most excited for people to see this year?
That's a tough one. We've done pretty extensive, massive renovations on all three of our trails. Um, but if I had to pick one, I might say the Captain's Fury Trail. I love fishing as a hobby and as a side little passion. So that was kind of a special project to be able to put this trail together. We've also got some really cool visual sets and special effects coming on this trail. So it's going to be pretty epic.
Awesome. Because I just saw the teaser trail the other day and that looked really good.
Yeah, that's not even 10% of that trail. So there's a lot of special stuff on that trail.
Nice, nice. And I've seen videos of your haunt in the past, and I know that you even changed the names for special events for even for your Valentine's Day haunt. You changed the names. Are you planning
Yep.
on potentially changing the names for future off-season haunts?
Yeah, so it's always Sir Henry Sonnet Trail, always and forever. But we do try to modify our off-season events, such as the Valentine's Day haunt, um, to kind of cater it to that event. So our Valentine's haunt is called Love's Revenge. We definitely want to do more off-season events. So if we do that, they'll be geared around the potential holiday or event
Nice.
for sure.
Cool. And I definitely like the backstories you made for all three of the trails. I really appreciate the time you and effort you put into them because they really are good stories. And I definitely can tell the inspiration of the fog with Captain's Fury. Did you have inspiration from that?
Yeah, so fun fact, I'm not the biggest horror movie fanatic.
Okay.
I do Halloween, John Carpenter is my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I like the serial killer stuff, but
Mhm.
again, I don't go out of my way to watch it. Um, story is the most important thing to us. That's where we start, that's where we try to finish, and we want guests to be immersed in the stories of our trails as they go through. We don't like throwing stuff together. But actually, a big inspiration for me for coming up with the Captain's Fury Trail was me and my wife took a vacation out to the Seattle area in Pacific Coast about 3 years ago or so. And we stayed in this hotel on the coast. And when we got on the elevator, there was this creepy picture. It wasn't meant to be creepy, but there's this creepy painting of just a lady standing by the ocean. And I was like, no, that's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about staying in this hotel now. And so they kind of stayed with me the whole trip. And then we went and did a sightseeing, like whale watching thing. And it was a very small little town. It was a very quiet town. And I was like, you know what? It might be cool one day to do a haunted fishing wharf or village for a trail. So that's kind of where the seed was originally planted.
Nice. And I have seen that you have unique scares that lots of haunts don't have. You actually have scares where people are above you, and there's a great scare with a drill. I saw that on YouTube, and that scared people really bad. So,
Yeah, we mixed it up last year with the drill scares and impact driver. It makes a really cool sound. You're not expecting it. It's a little different than a chainsaw. We go top to bottom. We've got a character in our common area from time to time that slides at your feet, kind of like a slider would, except we don't have concrete. So that's cool. Yeah, we're open to try anything.
that's really exciting for me because I really like seeing different kinds of scare techniques. Because if you go to a certain haunts, then you find out what their rhythm is. And it's interesting to go to another haunt like yours, and then you have something different you don't expect. And you're like, wow, that was really cool, especially because it's very memorable and you can tell everybody, like, this was so different. Do you have to go check out this place? So,
Right. So yeah, so last year for when COVID first hit, we switched to pretty much a 100% online model, which was buy your ticket online, and we implemented time slots. That worked great for us. We'd be doing the same thing this year, and I think it helped space the crowds out better, and it offered everyone actually a more enjoyable experience. The wait times were never got terrible. because we do pulse, or even before COVID, we always pulse our groups of people going into the haunt at six people per group every so often. Um, so those things will be continuing to do this year. As you mentioned before, we've got so much stuff, not just with the trails too. We're bringing back laser tag this year. We didn't do it last year, just out of caution for COVID. But even with what's the stuff that's going on this year, we feel like we have a good safe grasp of being able to offer it and entertain our guests. So that's going to come back. That's actually got a new location at our event, and it's going to be rethemed again with one of our common area characters. We're bringing back our escape game. Again, didn't do that last year for the same reasons, but we will have that back this fall. That's going to get a new theme. That's going to be a whole new game and puzzles. Really excited about that. And I'm not the biggest escape game person, but that is going to be very cool. So we have that. We're expanding our like common area midway area. So there's going to be more to do inside of that. There's going to be more photo ops. And then our centerpiece photo op, if you've been to our event before, is the Sir Henry statue. Last year we added the dead tree with the jack-o'-lanterns in there. That is also getting a huge facelift, and I'm extremely excited for that to be finished. That's going to be pretty epic. And then, of course, all the stuff we've done on the trails already. We completely bulldozed probably 50 to 60% of all three trails, and started from scratch. And this was one heck of a year to do it with the way prices of lumber were. But we did it anyway. So I think our guests are going to be extremely pleased, surprised, and shocked when they see what we have to offer, especially when they see our new Victorian mansion facade, because it's a beast.
Yes, I'm very excited to see the new facades because I saw on social media you bulldozing them down. I'm like, oh, this is really exciting to see all this. And I've been watching different videos about your haunt over the years, and I can see how you've evolved and done different things. And I saw in the past you actually worked with Ominous Descent. And how was that partnership like, having both trails with Sir Henry's and Ominous Descent?
Yeah, so in 2017, it was a unique situation. We had Hurricane Irma come through. They were planning to open a haunt. And we had been doing our event for 4 seasons at that point. And unfortunately, Hurricane Irma destroyed their building and set. So they didn't have anything to do. It was like 2 or 3 weeks before the season. So I was friends with them, and I reached out to them and said, hey, you guys want to come, set up a little something here? And they did, and we did that for a few seasons, and it worked out well. And I think it grew the event. It got to a point last year with the COVID and just a few other factors where they were ready to, kind of spread their wings and start looking to get back on their feet. And so last year was just us, Sir Henry's, and that's how it will be this year too. But it was a great partnership, and I'm grateful for the time we had with that.
Nice. So I know that you have multiple icon characters and you have the classic character of Sir Henry that you actually can talk to and meet. And he's obviously going to return this year, right?
Yes, yes. Sir Henry will always and forever be at the event. He is our icon character. He is our Mickey Mouse. Um,
Awesome. And I saw that you had mobile scares when you're waiting in line. I know you alluded to it earlier where you had like a slider-like character. I saw you also had like a boomstick scare too. So I thought that was
yeah.
cool.
So one of our characters, Vex, she carries around like an electric taser. She's wild, zany. All of our common area characters have a very unique personality. They're all very different. Um, and then we have Pyram, our main pumpkin character. He'll be back out there this year, and he's kind of evolved almost like a Pokemon will. So he might be a level 3 this year as far as his evolving phases go. So that's going to be cool. And then we also have 2 new common area characters that we're going to feature this year, which I'm really excited to show off.
Awesome. So there's obviously a lot to look forward to at Sir Henry's Haunted Trail, lots of new changes. And I'm excited to see the new themes for laser tag. You don't see that often at haunted houses. So when I come down to Sir Henry's, I'm definitely going to check that out. And I'm curious, how does that operate? Like, do you get the gun for like different colors for like different teams? How does it work?
So in the past, we've been done basically two teams. I think the last game we did was called Sabotage, and that was two teams. There was a story with it, and you're basically fighting to see who had the highest score per team. And in that one too, I think we had kind of like a third option where we had a clown scare actor come in, and it was like a free for all. So that worked out very well. We're going to be taking elements of that game with what we do this year, but we also have a cool little twist we're going to do with that. So we're looking forward to bringing that to life.
Awesome. I really like that you were sharing things from the Transworld Haunt Show this year. I really enjoyed your coverage of that and all the different things you were teasing, like, are we going to get this turtle mask from Immortal Masks? What are we going to do? So in the end, did you get some of the things you were teasing, or are we going to just have to come and see what's going on?
Oh well, for sure you got to come see what we're doing. But
Yeah.
we did. We always try to highlight definitely stuff we got and stuff we were considering. Um, and if you really look closely at what we hint during our Transworld trips, you can see some of the potential themes that are coming. But you do have to read between the lines with that. But yeah, we had a great Transworld show. This whole season, I've been fortunate enough to work with Jason Thomas from Monster Works Entertainment. He has been a great friend of mine since I started doing the haunt. He's an awesome person, and he's been making some very awesome, one of a kind custom pieces for us. So a lot of the cool things you will see, including a huge part of the finale of Captain's Fury, and actually the huge part of the finale for Blood Masquerade, are his work. So I'm extremely excited to show that off.
Yeah, because I just saw recently, just the other day, you were teasing about Blood Masquerade with the vampire from Immortal Masks. That was really cool.
Yeah,
So
that finale is we spent probably a month building out that room. I had help from a local scenic artist, and she did an amazing job on that room. It was pretty special.
nice. So this year, are the sets going to be more claustrophobic, or are they going to be more open overall?
Yeah, so it will be a little more claustrophobic than last year. We are at a different time and place with COVID than we were a year ago. So we are kind of getting back to the bread and butter of haunted houses where we're going to have freezer flaps again. And we've learned a lot from last year. We took in a lot of what worked, what didn't work, as safety precautions, and we were fortunate enough to work with a disinfecting company last year to help clean our haunt. So we're looking forward to doing the same thing in this year. We will see more claustrophobic. The squeeze bags will not be back. I can tell you that though.
Okay, cool. So what new merch are you going to have this year? Are you going to have new designs with your brand new logo from Sinister
Yep.
Visions? Are you going to have new merch?
Yeah, we are going to have some hot, fresh new merchandise, new T-shirts. We always do a year T-shirt, and that'll be out. Looking to do it. So we took a lot of feedback from our guests this past couple seasons. A couple things we want to implement. I would say you can probably expect to see some shot glasses, um, different little paraphernalia of that kind. We're still kind of putting together our merchandise list for this season. We're hoping to have couple different areas of merchandise, so it's going to be some cool stuff. But for sure,
Yes.
expect to see that new logo.
Awesome. Because I definitely like it when I go to haunts and they have lots to choose from. Because I've seen online before you had mobile things, you had different shirt designs and
Mhm.
different things, and last year you could get masks too. And I really like it when I go to a haunt and they have lots of options, especially if they have mobile shirt designs, because some haunts like Netherworld, for example, they always have a billion different shirts you can get for the
Right,
different themes. And sometimes they're gory and sometimes they're not gory. And I like it when you have the option to get a shirt from a haunt that isn't gory.
right,
So I like that about your logo, that it's obviously very spooky. You see Sir Henry there, you're ready, and it's not over the top gory.
right, for sure. Yeah, I'm actually not a big gory person, but I know people like it, so We do it.
Awesome. So I really was interested and intrigued recently about your blood masquerade, where it said they're going to have tools to extract blood from people. It's not just the classic bite your neck and
Yeah.
get the blood that way. Could you give a teaser for that?
Yeah. So vampires for me was never about doing traditional, like you said, bite your neck. Vampires, I turn into a bat at night kind of thing. I wanted this to be more sinister, more like a serial killer, people with problems that they're just crazy. So it's this, eclectic, weird Victorian family, late 1800s, who frankly believes they're descendants of vampires. They're actually not, but they believe it. Um, so they've created this elaborate scheme and set of tools and devices for extracting blood out of victims, bottling it into wine bottles and storing it in their cellar. That's kind of their mask for it all, and it all happens to be taking place now at their daughter's coming of age party at a masquerade ball that they're hosting for her. So it's a cool little thing that we'll have going on with that. You're going to go through basically two parts of that, and the first part's going to be the house party itself, and then you're going to descend into the cellar, and that's where things start to get crazy. You'll start to see how um, they take the blood from their victims, and then what happens to those bodies after they take the blood from those victims.
Yes, you have to come to Sir Henry's Haunted Trail to see what's taking care of those bodies. I also like the backstory for Night Marrow, where you have the flock of ravens following Sidious. And how do you come up with the name for Sidious? And how are you going to incorporate the ravens into the haunted attraction?
Yeah, so we this was actually a whole different theme up until about May or June, and then for whatever reason, I just wasn't feeling it. So we changed it. We came up with Night Marrow, um, and I wanted the element of the ravens to be there as almost like a second degree of texture for this trail, and not just one dimensional with a killer. And almost like it's kind of like a shadow that follows him wherever he goes. And so this is actually an undead killer that comes back from the grave every Halloween, which is pretty cool. We haven't released the character yet, but it's pretty terrifying. By far, probably one of our scariest characters this season. Um, and so, coming up with just names, I could not tell you my process for that. It's just something that pops into my head. I don't know that there is a process for that for me, but yeah, this trail is going to be intense. Last year, this trail was the Candy Tree, which was probably one of my favorite all-time trails. I just love the nostalgic vintage Halloween trick-or-treaters and this creature that comes out on Halloween night to eat kids. But we mix this trail up this year, and it's going to have a very dark, very sinister, a little bit paranormal kind of feel for this trail, which is going to be new. So
Nice. And it definitely was interesting to me with the backstory where it said that he was getting the bones and he was actually eating them. So that's pretty messed up. Are you going to have cool scenes with like bones of like building the throne, like you alluded to?
yeah, so the finale of this trail will entail a lot of that. There'll be you'll be able to see what he's working on, where he was keeping all these bones. That's kind of the big reveal for this trail, and it also served as almost like his portal for coming back from the undead to the human world, essentially. So
Awesome. So it sounds like you have a really stacked lineup this year, lots of interesting things to see. And this is going to be definitely a visually awesome experience and it's going to be scary. So I really love it when you go to a haunt and there's lots to see. There's so much to see, you're distracted, and that makes you easy prey for awesome startle scares. So I bet that's going to be really awesome this year at Sir Henry's.
oh, for sure. Back after our Valentine's event, I was approached by Brad and Amanda, two local horror authors and writers to do a book on Sir Henry's. And this is actually something that I had wanted to do for quite some time, but didn't have the time, didn't necessarily have the ability to pull this off. And they came to me and were like, "Hey, we would love the opportunity to write a book and create almost a universe for Sir Henry and its characters." And I was like, "Yes, let's do this and let's make this happen." So we've been working together since I think March on bringing this book to life. And it is slated for release on September 1st of this year, so just a couple weeks away. You'll be able to buy it off of Amazon. And then we're also going to be doing special autographed copies, like a premium thing. And I'm pretty 99% positive they will be at our event opening weekend doing book signing. You can meet, talk with them. They're awesome, great people. And it's been amazing to see. I've had a handful of conversations with them just in person about Sir Henry and how I created and what my process and inspiration was. And they've been to the event, a good number of times, but still, it's been amazing to see how they took our characters, brought them to life exactly as how I would imagine, and gave them a personality, a story, and a soul. It's been absolutely incredible. I can't say enough about how great they have been and how great they have been to the Sir Henry's universe and characters. So it's going to be an 8-chapter book. It's like 150, 160 pages long. Brings in a lot of our characters that guests have met over the years in our commentary and our trails, and ties it all together. And ties Sir Henry's story together really cool. So be looking for that. Even if you don't like reading, I highly encourage you to check this book out because it's not traditional in that sense. It's like a haunted house. It's cool.
Is it a traditional book with no pictures, or does it have pictures?
Yeah, so it's a novel.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure Amanda is adding like a meet the characters section in the back of the book with some reference pictures of characters like Sir Henry, and in fact, she's in the book. So
Awesome. That sounds really interesting. You don't often hear about that with a haunt, having an actual book that elaborates upon the characters. So I'm definitely interested in that. I'm definitely going to pick up that book. And are they going to be there doing an autograph signing on media night?
yeah, I'm pretty sure they will be there on media night actually. So that is the plan.
Awesome. It'd be nice to meet them.
Yep.
Cool.
They'll be there.
Cool. Awesome. So thank you very much for talking to me. I had a great time talking all about Sir Henry's Haunted Trail. There's lots to look forward to this year, and let's see if you can survive all of the creepy characters and see if the captain will get you.